Imagine living your life without ever seeing your own face. A powerful empress enforcing a palace-wide mirror ban. No reflections of silk dresses or painted lips. No private vanity, no stolen glances, just walls and secrets. This was not superstition, it was obsession, and it hid a terrifying truth behind banished reflections. We step into 18th century Qing dynasty China. In the heart of imperial Beijing. This is the court of Empress Wu Lian, a powerful and mysterious ruler who rose from concubine to co-regent. She presided over a golden palace of jade and lacquered wood, yet enforced a strange command: remove all mirrors. In this ornate world where walls were lacquered red and floors polished black stones, everyone lived in shadows. No servant held a mirror. No noble looked at their own reflection. Only the empress remained unseen by glass. But beneath the shiny silk robes and palace delicacy, insecurity and ancient fear festered. No one spoke openly about the mirror ban, yet every mirror frame in halls, bedchambers, preparation rooms vanished overnight. The removal was swift and total, carried out in silence by masked attendants at dawn. Even the tiniest handheld bronze mirror, once used by maids, was confiscated. Nobles whispered in hidden corridors. She fears someone will see more than their own face. Even palace officials refused to mention reflections. They memorized phrases for ceremony while hiding trembling glances. Some whispered that to even speak of mirrors was to invite exile. In the palace's quietest hall, a wall of polished lacquer stood where mirrors used to hang. The empty panels reflected nothing, but every visitor felt watched. One high-ranking eunuch painted in his diary, "Those lacquered panels are eyes without light," a reminder that even in grandeur, the empress feared watching. Another court lady described walking past the great dining chamber feeling like her thoughts were being read by the blank surfaces. It was said that the walls themselves had memory, recording secrets the mirrors once saw. Many thought it was vanity or grand superstition, but fear was deeper, rooted in blood and prophecy. Historians later discovered that Wu Lian's first love, a childhood friend, had been assassinated after glimpsing a secret prophecy in a glass mirror. The prophecy named her dragon-born child, destined to bring both rivers and ruin. When her friend told her of seeing this in a mirror's reflection, he vanished. Days later, she was forced into the imperial court. Mirrors, she realized, could not be trusted. Reflection was betrayal. In a culture where omens and ancestors held immense power, the idea of a mirror showing destiny was terrifying. She believed mirrors were portals, not to spirits, but to truth. And truth, in a palace built on illusion, was dangerous. Over time, courtiers found themselves uneasy. They could never check their hair, makeup, or teeth. They walked the halls unsure of their own image. A clumsy footstep in gilt slippers became a scandal. Because you could never fix your lace collar. Women painted their faces blindly, guided only by memory and touch. Some began wearing veils indoors, afraid they looked monstrous. Servants whispered that even animals started reacting oddly. Horses balked in the mirrorless stables, dogs growled at their own shadows. One tale tells of a cat that clawed its own reflection in a puddle, only to disappear the next day. Children born in the palace grew up never knowing what their own face looked like. There were reports of depression, of identity loss, of people becoming untethered from themselves. But no one questioned the empress. She was powerful, she was divine, she was obeyed. One night, the empress's cousin, Prince Li Feng, snuck into a forbidden antechamber. He had heard rumors of a hidden chamber the empress visited alone, late at night. He found a hidden mirror large and gilded, draped in silk. Curious, he removed the cloth and peered in, seeing his own face, and suddenly the room shifted. Carved walls revealed another door. He shrank back, but was caught by the royal guards. Dragged before the empress, he looked unafraid. "You stole a mirror," she said, her voice cold. He replied, "I saw fear and loneliness behind your eyes." The empress realized her secrets were unraveling. She ordered his execution but at the last second, changed her mind. He saw truth, she whispered, and spared him. She sent him to the far southern provinces, never to return. But he was alive. In secret, she allowed Li Feng to keep the mirror. If it stayed sealed in his private quarters. She told him, I banished all reflections to protect us from seeing what should not be known. But perhaps some truths must be reflected. He agreed. He kept the mirror hidden, and spoke of it to no one. Years later, he wrote a letter. The Empress did not fear mirrors. She feared prophecy. And worse, she feared her own image because she knew it was not hers alone. Years later, after Wu Lian's death, historians discovered record drawings. Under her portrait urn lay a small, broken mirror piece. In peeking glass, her eyes looked frightened, haunted. She had kept one mirror in her own chambers all along, not to see her face but to watch the prophecy's shadow and the fear in her own eyes. Some say that in her final days, she spoke to that fragment. Whispers claimed she asked the questions, waiting for answers only she could hear. Others believed the shard showed her how she would die. Empress Wu Lian's mirror ban was not just an eccentric edict. It was control and fear made law. She ruled through reflection by hiding it, controlling it, banishing it from every hall. But she could not banish fear itself. Her story shows that power often tries to hide truth. But mirrored reflections can reveal what lies hidden inside us. We often think of mirrors as harmless, decorative tools. But in some cultures, in some minds, they become doors to terror. Empress Wu Lian believed that reflection had consequences. And in doing so, she shaped an entire palace's relationship with identity, truth, and silence. What would you have done in her chambers? Would you live with no reflection or demand the truth to be seen? Would you have risked everything to look into a mirror? Comment below. Would you survive this royal nightmare? If you loved this story, leave a like, subscribe, and share to reveal more hidden chapters of history. Because sometimes the most terrifying truths are the ones we cannot see.